Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dakota from Everyday Life. How's everybody doing? I thought I would come on today just to give you a recap and an update on what's going on with the Diddy case. Well, at the present time, Diddy has been denied his third bail request. So basically, he must remain incarcerated until his trial. Now, no one knows when his trial is going to be. It could be months, it could be years, but he has to stay put. And also, his lawyer, well, his previous lawyer, because Diddy has a new lawyer. He has fired Mark and Gophilia. He has fired Mark, and now he has a new lawyer. Now, I don't know what took him so long, but seems to me that that lawyer, I'm sure he was pretty smart because he is a lawyer and he has been for a long time. But it just seems like he either did not have a defense or he just didn't have Diddy's best interest in heart. I don't know what it is, but I would not want him representing me. So he's gone. But before he left, he did say that Diddy wants to take the stand for his defense. He wants to tell his story. Now, this is going to be the most interesting trial since the Trump trial or the Bonnie Willis trial or the O.J. Simpson trial. It's going to be crazy. So, like I said, I just wanted to give you guys a recap, and I'm going to just play a couple of clips about what has happened so far for those of you who don't know. Okay, let's get started.
Interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity.
To use the criminal empire, which we used to think was just an entertainment business for rapping, businessmen, but it was all a smokescreen. What I'm wondering is, where did he make most of his money? Was it in the music industry or was it in the other sidebar behaviors that he was partaking in? Okay, let's continue.
Including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Well, Diddy is now awaiting trial at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. He was denied bail. According to some reports, he's refusing food and could even be on suicide watch. The case threatens to engulf the VIP world with fevered speculation.
Now, from what I hear, he's eating now. Someone actually had the menu online, so he is eating longer on suicide watch. Word is that that was for sympathy points, but I don't know. We weren't there. Well, let's continue.
About sordid tapes featuring celebrities and even politicians. So who knew what and when? How far could this go? Is this the music version of the Epstein scandal? And why was Diddy protected for so long by so many people? My special edition of Piers Morgan Uncensored, looking into.
That's a good question. Why was he protected so long by so many people? Now, this is where are going to start to fall. Word is Diddy's not going to get a plea deal. We know that. I mean, he's not going to get out of jail if he gives a plea deal. If he gets one, it's just going to be to lessen his time because they're saying it could be 15 years to life. So, and I'm sure Diddy's going to start to sing. I heard where he is getting his thoughts together as to who he's going to sing on. I don't know, but let's continue.
into a scandal that is rocking the world of show business and way beyond. Here to unpack the fall of a global icon from the Criminal Lawyer Reacts YouTube channel, Bruce Rivers, the editor of Hollywood Unlocked and a man who partied with Diddy, Jason Lee, PBD's podcast Angry Patriot, Vinny Oshana, and here in the studio uncensored contributor Esther Kraku. Well, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it very much. Bruce Rivers, let me start with you because you've been getting great traction with your YouTube channel by exploring every part of this scandal. It really does feel that it's getting bigger and bigger and is right up there with Epstein, with Weinstein, with these other huge scandals we've seen. What do you think is going to happen here?
I think he's going to go to the prison for the rest of his natural life. The federal guidelines are going to be astronomical. There's so much that they've gotten in the search warrant from Miami and LA, and he's really looking at sex trafficking with a lot of aggravating factors.
Which is the most serious for him?
The abuse, the RICO encompasses all the other statutes. So it's the sex trafficking and then all the other enhancements with that. So guidelines, he's probably looking at in excess of 300 months. Those are just the guidelines.
I mean, I saw that he, through his lawyers, they put a bail package proposal that included a $50 million bond co-signed by Combs'
Yeah. Not only did they offer a $50 million house, the mansion, but they also offered his mother's house as well. I don't know how much that was worth. And they also said that he would hire his own security at his expense. And he also said that no women would come to the house. But what about men? Because Diddy went both ways. Let's continue.
mother and other family members. It was to include home detention, surrender of his passport, weekly drug tests, a visitor log that would be submitted to pretrial services each night. That was rejected. I mean, that in itself said to me just how serious the trouble is for Diddy Combs.
Well, you have a situation where this is a presumptive detention situation. In other words, the defense has to prove, rebut the presumption. And while this is all going on, we have witness tampering. We've got potential bribes of witnesses.
Now, that witness tampering, that's the main issue that got him denied for bail. The witness tampering. So the judge, I believe it was Judge Carter at the time, she said, no, you should know better. Why? Why are you trying to contact these people? So now he has to stay there on his own accord. Or maybe if he didn't witness tamper, who knows? Maybe he would have gotten out. Maybe. But we'll see. Let's continue.
And then we also have possession of drugs and ammunition and firearms that are obliterated serial numbers. And then he was on his plane trying to go somewhere earlier in the year. So we have a situation where there's a risk of flight and definitely a danger to the public and a potential obstruction of justice.
Let me turn to Esther on this because Diddy, I met Diddy a few years ago at a party where he was the absolute cock of the walk. This guy was one of the biggest stars in the world, feted by everyone in the room that night, feted by the paparazzi when he came out. It looked like he was as big as it could get. If it's right, if Bruce is right, he's going to prison for the rest of his life. This is one of the biggest downfalls I can remember in entertainment.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm never satisfied with just one person going down. It's like the whole Epstein thing.
She's right. He did not manage that whole empire by himself. No way. Where the dominoes are going to fall, and this where it's going to turn into a Lifetime movie, this trial. Let's continue.
thing. We don't actually know anyone who was associated with Epstein, who went to his nonce island, who really got involved in the criminal activity. And I think to be P. Diddy, to do the things that he's being accused of, you have to have a whole team around you. It's an infrastructure, basically. And I just really despise the fact that he's probably going to be the only one that's going to be taken down. He didn't get that powerful just by being by himself.
Now, I don't think he's going to be the only one taken down. Like, where's Jay-Z? We haven't heard a peep. And then we have Little Miami, who just recently got in trouble for trying to convince a woman that Diddy R to get rid of her baby. That was somehow illegal, or it was not witness tampering, but it was harassment. It was harassment. And then the bodyguards, grown big men who are seeing little women like Cassie and Kim. I even heard that Diddy had slapped his mom, Gene Deal. Uncle Gene said that. Grown men. I mean, at some point, if you don't go and try to help, aren't knowing that you're physically capable, aren't you part of the problem? I don't know. Let's continue.
He had the support of politicians, of other wealthy benefactors,
there is a suggestion.
of so many people in the industry.
Right, but there is
Why is he only taking the...
Well, there is a suggestion that he may start talking to the feds and do some kind of deal. Now, Epstein never got the chance to do that or to take that kind of deal, even if he was offered it, because he died, right? He apparently committed suicide. Speculation has run riot ever since that somebody got to him, but that appeared to be...
And just let me say that if the feds offer you a deal, that's not guaranteed. They don't have to offer you a deal. So he might sing on everybody. He might tell everybody's story, but he still may not get a deal.
The fact that he took his life. But that seemed to silence everything and stop the process moving to other people. But here, if Diddy was to suddenly start going after everyone and naming people, and there are tapes, as many people believe, depicting a lot of other people, famous people involved in this stuff, this could get massively bigger very quickly.
Well, the thing is, so many people knew a lot of things. So, like 50 Cent, for example, was very open about his disdain for Puff Daddy, and he used to call him gay all the time. You know, he used to rap about it. Eminem has lyrics in some of his music about, you know, P. Diddy being a raper, for example.
Speaking of 50 Cent, do you guys know how Curtis Jackson is his real name? Do you guys know how he got the name 50 Cent? Raised by his grandmother. And usually when you're raised by your grandmother, funds are tight. And Kurt 50 Cent, he would always try to do things. He never saw the glass as half empty. He always saw the glass as half full. And he was always trying to move and shake and make things happen. So that's where he got his name, 50. The glass is not 50% empty. To Curtis, whatever his last name is, the glass was 50 Cent full. So that's how he got his name, 50 Cent. Okay, let's wrap this up.
There's so many people in the industry. Nicki Minaj, for example, certainly knew some things, particularly about Meek Mill's relationship with P. Diddy. If anyone's heard that horrible tape, you'll know what I'm talking about. So there are these high-profile celebrities that certainly saw things. And the question is, how do we incentivize them to speak? Because if they would come forward, then actually, even the other powerful people in the background that are hiding wouldn't be able to hide for much longer. But the question is, how do they do that? How do they incentivize the people who saw things to come forward?
And it might be a complete...
Okay, you see, like I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it's good to get a recap because so many things have happened and so many things are happening. Every 5 hours, something's happening with Diddy. And believe it or not, a lot of people, what you just saw in this YouTube show, a lot of people don't know. So it's good to recap. Some things you forget. But here we are, people. Diddy is going to be locked up until his trial, and he has terminated his lawyer with Mark Agaphilia, and he wants to get on the stand and help his own defense. And here we are. All right. Stay tuned and I will keep you guys updated. Have a wonderful day.